Morning. It's Wednesday, October 20th. This morning I want to talk about Steve Bannon. The committee investigating the January 6th insurrection has released, or is about to release, a criminal contempt report detailing how Steve Bannon evaded a subpoena that they sent him. Now, the committee is creating a document that outlines the efforts that the committee took to get Bannon to comply to his subpoena and the failure by him to do so. Now that is a terrible thing. You don't defy a committee like this, especially when you weren't even an employee of the president at the time that these events took place. The committee held a business meeting on Tuesday, and that marks the first step in a series of moves in order to move forward with the contempt citation against Bannon. Apparently you can't just do this. There's a whole rigmarole that you have to go through in order to get the subpoena applied, and they're prepared to go through it. And this is the first time that a congressional committee has had to go to these lengths to get somebody to testify. It hasn't happened since the Reagan administration. Now, in this contempt citation, lays out all the correspondence between the committee and Bannon, and it reveals new details about what happened the day of his scheduled deposition, and his making an excuse for not showing up. And this is the first time that this subpoena will be publicly available. The committee makes the case for why Bannon's claim of executive privilege does not hold up, and lays out the legal argument for why he must comply with the subpoena. Now, Mr. Bannon has in no way, shape, or form got any legal authority to support his refusal to comply in any fashion with the subpoena. That's what the report says. He has no legal right to not comply with this subpoena. He's claiming executive privilege, but there is no executive privilege. He wasn't working for Trump. He wasn't talking with Trump. There's been no communication with Trump over the invocation of the subpoena, so to speak. And the committee has not been provided with any formal declaration of executive privilege by the president or the former president or any employee of the executive branch. Bannon is out there basically naked. He's alone. He's a private citizen, and he was a private citizen during the period in which the committee is seeking information. And the report clearly says that executive privilege does not extend to discussions between the president and private citizens relating to non-governmental business or among private citizens. Talk. So Bannon's excuse for not showing up for the committee is very weak, and most legal professionals believe that it's a failed excuse. Because at no time during the investigation by the committee was Bannon a government employee. And he wasn't a key White House advisor in the office of the president either. So the committee argues that much of what it is seeking from Bannon does not involve his conversations with Trump and therefore should not be shielded. And I think this is a very serious matter. We can't afford to allow people to just declare some innocuous reason for not appearing before a committee that is trying to figure out what really happened on January 6th and who was responsible for that. Now, there are 3 or 4 other people who are on the fringes of not complying with these subpoenas. And they are clearly watching what's happening to Bannon. And I suspect that Bannon is going to have to show up and testify. And so will these other people. Although some of them, like Mark Meadows, have been in communication with the committee and they're not just stonewalling them like Bannon is trying to do. So maybe we'll get all the answers that we're looking for. But it seems like being a democracy allows people to stall for a long, long time before getting to the bottom of anything. And we see that happening all around the country. So I, for one, am hoping that this thing gets resolved quickly and that Bannon has to testify. And that's an example that we will be setting an example to all of those other reticent people who don't want to testify for one reason or another, or are still under the cloak of Donald Trump. I don't know that for sure. It just seems like that's the way it is. Maybe they're all trying to wait until 2024 when Donald runs again and this thing might go away if he wins. Many of us are in a hurry for this to end. We must understand that in a democracy it takes more time because everybody has an opportunity to defend their rights. And Bannon is just doing what he's entitled to do in this country. And sometimes we're upset by that. But if we take a step back and we think about it, it's probably better than most other methodologies. So that's what I have to say this morning, and it's something we have to keep an eye on because we want this committee to get the information and we want to know exactly what happened that day, although many of us have formed our opinions already. So have a good day, and I'll see you in the morning. Bye.